Investigation into what really happened to Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, the Army sergeant at the center of that controversial prisoner swap. The investigation may now be complete, but the Army won't release its findings until after the midterm elections. The Pentagon insisting its decision is not political. You'll recall that Bergdahl was captured by the Taliban after some of his fellow soldiers claimed Bergdahl deserted his unit in Afghanistan. Later, the Obama administration set 5 Taliban commanders free to secure Bergdahl's release. Time for some real talk with Judge Andy Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst. Wow, it's not politics, Judge.
Well, I don't know who would believe that. I mean, this case is unusual from the beginning, in large measure because it was resolved by the personal involvement of the President of the United States. We know that because he's the only person authorized under the law to arrange for the release of prisoners from Guantanamo Bay. Whatever you think of Guantanamo Bay, it's a devil's island or it should be there. The law is clear. He signed this law into existence. He cannot reduce the population of prisoners at Guantanamo Bay without giving Congress 30 days notice. He violated that. He cannot provide material assistance to a terrorist organization. He can't send them maps. He can't send them weapons. He can't send them human beings. He violated that. Now, he dispatched a general to investigate whether or not Sergeant Bergdahl is worthy of prosecution. Generals don't do investigations like that. Lower-level officers do. The time has come and gone for the general's report. It was due in 30 days. The 30 days passed last week, and we don't know what the recommendation is.
Okay, but you have some very interesting and maybe alarming information about the decision of this report, which is what?
Well, if the decision is to charge him, then obviously lawyers for him can challenge it. But if the decision is not to charge him, that decision is not challengeable, it is not appealable, it is final. That is the same in all civilian and in all military prosecutions. When the prosecutor decides not to charge, that's the end of it. So if the President of the United States, as Commander-in-Chief, directs this general who works for the President not to charge Sergeant Bergdahl for whatever reason, he thinks it's a bad case,
right.
He doesn't want to be dragged into it himself, as inevitably he would be if there is a trial. That can't be appealed, and it can't be changed.
Wow, fascinating. All right, so it seems to be the day of wait until after the midterms. The White House now, well, now they're announcing that they're not going to name an attorney general until after the midterm election.
Well, they're worried that they're going to lose the Senate as a result of the midterm elections. So they'll want to name Eric Holder's replacement while they still control the Senate. And under the law, they can do that. This will infuriate Republicans who will do their best to delay this until January, but under the current rules of the Senate, they'll probably fail, meaning the president will get his way. And in large measure, the president should have the attorney general he wants, even if it's somebody that the victorious party in the midterms would otherwise reject.
Real quickly, back to Bergdahl. It's one general making the entire decision on it?
It's one general writing the report and making the recommendation. We don't know who will actually make the decision. If the president makes the decision, whether or not to prosecute a sergeant for desertion or failure to follow orders, unprecedented in modern history.
All right. Judge Napolitano, the expert. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.